Art Laffer. Thank you. Art Laffer, member of President Trump's Economic Recovery Task Force. Art, good to have you here tonight. I want to start with you where I finished off with the Connecticut governor. Mitch McConnell said, you know, we just can't keep doing these programs. We're going to be $25 trillion in debt as a nation, and somewhere we're going to have to pull the plug on this. What do you say?
Well, I think he's right. I think he's totally right. Mitch is right. And, you know, when I listen to the discussion of the states, especially Connecticut, especially Illinois, especially New Jersey, these states have been so bad in their fiscal controls that they have run out of money. They're in bad shape. People are leaving the states in droves. And then they want the federal government to bail them out? I don't think so. I mean, this is their problem. President Trump is completely right. Ned Lamont should be able to do what he wants to do in Connecticut. He was elected by them. Kemp should be able to do what he wants to do in Georgia. He was elected by them. No one has to go back to work if they don't want to. No one has to shop at a store if they don't want to. It's left up to the individuals. And, you know, bad fiscal policies, I mean, Illinois, Michigan, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, these states have had a big problem long before coronavirus came, and coronavirus came along and just popped them. And they don't need to be bailed out by the federal government, believe me, and nor do a lot of other people, but especially not these states.
Yeah. And what about companies? You know, when you look at this, you know, a lot of these companies went into this process, this terrible process that we're in the middle of, with a ton of corporate debt on their books. Right. Are we making a mistake in some cases? You know, the president just talked about we're saving the airline industry. We're saving as many companies as we can. What do you say about that?
Well, the president's under a lot of pressure, and I don't envy him his job. I mean, it's damned if you do and damned if you don't in his case. But in my position here, I would not bail them out. I would not bail Boeing out. The factory's going to be there tomorrow, whether it's this owners or a new set of owners. The company's going to have all the people, et cetera. What they're doing is bailing out the prior investors, the prior lenders, and there's no reason in this country when they put that money in a company, they were taking a risk. They knew they were taking a risk, and this is a country of profit and loss, and those companies should not be bailed out. American Airlines is another real problem with its structure, its financial structure. Now, I do think the Fed, and I think the Fed did it, should guarantee loans for solvent companies. What you don't want, Martha, is you don't want a liquidity crisis to morph into a solvency crisis. But once you have an insolvent company or one that's teetering-tottering, to bail them out is just pouring good money after bad.
Yeah. How closely, last quick question, how closely are you going to be watching the consumer behavior here? Because you can open up places like the governor in Georgia is doing, but we don't know yet how people are going to feel about going back to them.
Yeah, let me just say that the governor has said you can open if you want to. They don't have to open. And therefore, I think it's really important that they have choice there. I'm going to watch the consumers. I'm going to watch what happens. I hope this economy bounces back. If they do the payroll tax waiver, this country will bounce back very quickly. If they don't do it, it'll take a long time.
So that's your number one measure that you would take. You know, you look at all of the things that are sort of being thrown at the wall right now. Payroll tax is the number one thing you would do.
Of course, you want to reward people for working. You want to reward companies for keeping the employees and hiring more. That's what you want.
Art Laffer, always good to see you, sir. Thank you very much for being here tonight.
Thank you, Martha.